Ensconced among the Andes of southern Peru, Machu Picchu is an iconic site of the ancient Americas. Hello! Today's Eye of the Serpent video will explore how the Inca built Machu Picchu to match its environment in order to utilize it. Its theme will follow the elements of air, water, fire, and earth. This Google Maps view of Peru locates Machu Picchu in red and Cusco in yellow toward the south of the country. Train service between the two let me take a journey to the Inca site from Cusco, to which I will return for today's mask. From this location, looking north, I could witness one of the most commanding views of Machu Picchu, atop this minor crest among the towering mountains. Surrounding the ancient city are tropical peaks, and above it rises boundless sky. Founded in the middle of the 15th century, this was a city in the air, and indeed common lore says that its layout was planned as a condor in flight. For centuries, native peoples of the Andes revered the condor as the sacred creature in the air, in a trilogy with the puma on the earth and the serpent in the underworld. At Machu Picchu, the Runa peoples built for their Inca lords a temple dedicated to the condor, inspired by the avian shape of the natural rock rising from the surface. Many shamanic traditions in the Andes speak of soul flight in the guise of a condor, a creature that could communicate between the humans on earth and the spirits in the heavens. In Peru, water has notoriously capricious behavior. It can become scarce in droughts, or it could billow through storms such as the infamous El Niño. The ancient indigenous civilizations had to invent clever means to control the course of water, essential for agriculture to sustain the massive nations. Hydraulic systems run through the site to divert overflow and prevent flooding. At the bottom of this ravine is the Vilcanota River, which bends around the hill supporting Machu Picchu. Notice how the hill's edge was terraced down the slope. This design had additional forethought. The finest soil formed the top layer of each step, with increasingly coarse sand, gravel, and boulders underneath to improve the flow of runoff. The Runa also diversified crops at different heights to experiment with productivity. The sun god Inti was the foremost deity of the Inca, whose lords were his descendants. While sunlight was a constant presence, whose persistent glow and eventual decrease defined each day, its celestial path varied slightly at each turn. The Inca astrologers observed its movement through technologies to mark precise moments. Its greatest expression at Machu Picchu is the solar shrine. The shrine has a distinct arc shape to its southern wall. In the center of the eastern wall, a window opens to receive the light from the dawn of the winter solstice. Another window to the south opens to the beam of summer's first day. Built into the floor of a temple complex, these bowls held water for a reflecting surface, through which astrologers could observe solar events such as eclipses with less harm to the eyes. I angled this shot to witness the sun as an Inca priest may have seen it. The overcast moment helped highlight the brightness and minimize the glare. I am standing in the Great Plaza with an eastbound view of the Yachay Wasi, the schoolhouse where young priests received their education in ritual knowledge. To the south of this complex was housing for the priestesses. Machu Picchu was a sacred place, a center for political and religious administration. Pilgrims arriving at the site would deposit a stone brought in from outside as a symbolic offering at shrines such as this. Notice that the shrine itself is a single rock hewn into a piece for ritual use. Many native South American cultures believed that unusually formed stones had inner power that could be brought to full force with human working. Machu Picchu was replete with such formations, and the Inca converted them into symbolic objects such as the Condor Temple and this monolithic shrine. We see this same concept also applied to this rock, whose corners point to the cardinal directions. Its highest point is south. It could even be an Illa, an object of supernatural power, specifically as it resembles the Southern Cross constellation. Machu Picchu was deliberately remote and inaccessible, a private place for only the most devout servants of gods and empire. In ancient times, pilgrims and other visitors would have had to trek the famous Inca Trail, a highway reaching it from the city of Ollantaytambo. It passes formidable peaks, such as that of the mountain known today as Veronica, and the trail remains available for hardy hikers. Fortunately, now a train does this as well, and during my return to Cusco I encountered today's mask. Today's mask is a Saqra, a devilish spirit impersonated during certain virgin festivals, when they demonstrate the Virgin's piety by trying and failing to dissuade her procession to the church. Literally meaning malicious fiend or even devil, the Saqra of these festivals are actually rather benign, just mischievous. One appeared on the train to Cusco. While the Virgin could resist the temptation to follow the Saqra devil, I couldn't, and I ended up dancing with the spirit to conclude my visit to the ancient site. Your support helps produce these videos, so I have linked to my Patreon page if you wish to subscribe. Thank you for watching, and good roads.